An experienced cave diver went on a series of dives with the Karst Underwater Research team at Weeki Wachee Springs in 2012. However, no one knew there would be a shocking turn of events after a successful dive to a depth of 180 feet. Would he survive this expedition? Located in Spring Hill, Florida, Weeki Wachee Springs stands as a captivating natural tourist spot. Its name, Weeki Wachee, originates from the Seminoles, signifying little spring or winding river in their language. This enchanting attraction was brought to life in 1947 by the ingenuity of stunt swimmer and showman Newt Perry. Perry's inspiration for the show was drawn from innovative underwater air hose breathing techniques. The entry point to the Weeki Wachee system is a narrow fissure, roughly the dimensions of a standard door, positioned 75 feet beneath the water's surface. This passage, just spacious enough for one person to traverse, descends to a profound depth of 170 to 190 feet before unveiling a vast cavern room. Here, enthusiasts and explorers have the opportunity to delve further, undertaking dives to meticulously map the intricate expanses of the Weeki Wachee system. Weeki Wachee Spring flows gracefully from the base of a gently sloping conical depression. The dimensions of the spring pool span 165 feet from east to west and 210 feet from north to south. Delving into the azure depths, the spring reaches a depth of 45 feet at its center vent. The water is crystal clear, adorned with a light greenish-blue color. Beyond its natural beauty, Weeki Wachee Springs doubles as a captivating tourist attraction. Here, visitors can witness mesmerizing underwater performances by mermaids, captivating women adorned in fishtails and whimsical outfits. The spectacle unfolds in an aquarium-like setting along the spring of the Weeki Wachee River. Additionally, the locale offers an array of activities, including a water park named Buccaneer Bay, scenic riverboat rides, and the option to explore the waters through kayak and paddleboard rentals. Marson Kay had two profound passions that illuminated his life: his dedicated work in the realm of computers and his exhilarating adventures in cave diving. After experiencing a fruitful 6-year career in information technology at Life South Community Blood Center, Marson persistently nurtured his love for diving. His adventurous spirit was a defining characteristic, as family and friends fondly described him as a daredevil who found joy in activities like cave diving, surfing, and even daring ventures like skydiving. However, his mother was always afraid when he went on these explorations. She once candidly expressed her disapproval of his interest in cave diving to Marson, but he explained that this was his passion and he didn't mind giving his life for it. On the evening of March 31, 2012, Marson Kay, a 29-year-old skilled cave diver, embarked on a series of dives alongside the Karst Underwater Research team at Weeki Wachee Springs. This team explores the karst aquifers, which are caves hidden deep below the surface, where scientists can't easily go. These underwater caves are really important for our well-being because they hold a lot of water that we use. Picture them as intricate networks of tunnels beneath the ground. Thanks to improvements in diving knowledge, equipment, and techniques, we can now explore these mysterious underwater caves. This is where the Karst Underwater Research team comes in. They play a crucial role in this endeavor. They volunteer and use their own equipment to dive into these tricky waters to gather and report scientific information. This enables them to figure out how these cave systems work. Through the acquisition of this information, scientists studying the Earth can help protect the environment and help everyone understand more about these hidden places. Marson and the team's next destination for underwater exploration was the Weeki Wachee Springs, and they were scheduled to dive after the conclusion of the final mermaid show for the day. Equipped and ready, Kay, accompanied by 5 other divers, submerged into the water a little after 4:30 p.m., making their way down to the open cavern area situated 175 feet below the surface. As they delved deeper, they came across a cavern with intricate rock formations, which presented them with a challenging yet fascinating environment at a depth of around 100 feet. The underwater landscape had a serene surface with a striking deep blue color. The man-made decorations and air hoses added to the underwater scenery, creating a habitat for turtles and fish that gracefully swam around, enhancing the overall experience of the dive. After Marson successfully explored the cave at a depth of 180 feet, he signaled to his team that he was ready to leave the maze of tight rocks. Getting out of the cave was tricky because they had to go through a tough entrance. To exit, they had to swim up through a strong flow of water. They followed a special rope, a half-inch wide and orange in color, which led them from 180 feet to 142 feet. At this point, the cave got a bit narrower, but the rope guided them through the largest opening. The rope continued to lead them to a depth of 68 feet, where they could always see daylight. Instead of sticking to the ropes he usually followed, Marson suddenly went into a very narrow part of the underwater crevasse. It seems he didn't plan to do this. It was more like a quick reaction to a problem he faced while coming up from the deep water. Apparently, Marson had what's called a cerebral arterial gas embolism. This condition is quite serious. It can make your brain work differently, causing confusion, sudden blindness, being unable to move, having seizures, or even passing out within just a few minutes. If it happens after you've come back to the surface, it's very risky and can lead to severe problems or even death, even if you get help quickly. When this happens underwater, the diver is in great danger due to a loss of consciousness, and sadly, it often results in drowning because the person can't react in time. This is why it's important for cave divers to be really careful, plan things well, and be aware of their health conditions, and be aware of the risks to avoid these kinds of emergencies. Despite having safety divers nearby and extra gas cylinders ready, Marson quickly went up into an area that even divers using a side-mount approach couldn't easily reach. His fellow divers tried to communicate using lights and touch, and they attempted to pull him back, but it didn't work. Marson was still moving, but he didn't directly respond to their signals. Realizing the urgency of this worrisome situation, the divers decided to swim up to the surface and inform the other researchers. A rescue dive team rushed back into the water, but by the time they reached Marson, just 3 minutes later, his mask was on his forehead and his breathing regulator was out of his mouth. Unfortunately, he had already passed away. Marson's demise was a shock and sad news for his family and friends. It was a hard pill to swallow, but that's just one of the risks, difficulties, and dangers of cave diving, even when safety measures are in place. It shows how important it is to understand the challenges of underwater environments and to communicate quickly and effectively in emergencies, emphasizing the need for caution and preparedness in this adventurous but risky activity. Following Marson's passing, the coroner investigated and found that he had suffered from a cerebral arterial gas embolism before his death. When they checked Marson's equipment later on, they discovered that he still had about half of his gas supply in both tanks, and his breathing regulators seemed to be in good working order. The medical examiner clarified that Marson didn't drown, as some initially thought. Instead, the cause was an air embolism due to surfacing too quickly. An embolism is like an air bubble that blocks an artery, cutting off blood supply to a part of the body. In Marson's case, authorities explained that this bubble got stuck in his heart, preventing blood from flowing into his lungs. Understanding what happened to Marson reminds us of the importance of ascending slowly and safely in cave diving to prevent these serious medical issues. Every diver must be cautious and aware of potential risks in underwater exploration. We would like to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching, take a dive on the like and subscribe buttons and hit the bell icon so you get notified when we come back with another exciting cave diving story.